I hope I'm live. Let me see if I'm live. I think so. I think so. Yes, looks like I'm live. Hi everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy beautiful sunny Sunday hello from Boston, here from a beautiful Boston. I left the windows open, so I really hope that will not be too distracting and some weird stuff will happen because it always happens when I'm live. So good morning or good evening, wherever you're watching this video. I hope you're all doing amazing. It's another beautiful Sunday. I love my Sundays. I love Sunday mornings. So yeah, I wanted to do these videos in two separate parts. Of course, we will have always like one part for the YouTube, and then it extended and more personalized is for my Bright Star Club members, right? So we were talking about August here and our empowerment messages for August, but I wanted to do separately. Actually, usually, as you all know, I first talk about certain things and then I go into the messages with my cards, right? With my beautiful, beautiful cards. But this time, because this is so critical to understand, to know, I didn't want to people to just oftentimes are missing, watch the full video, so they're missing the first part and the second part, so they just believe it's a talking, because I'd always for years, every single on my Sunday lives, I talk about a certain topic and then I go into the weekly or monthly messages, whatever they are. But this time, let's try this. It's just a lot of work, I know, but I want to really, really separate this so that people really get this as a frame and understand this for once and for all. This will be hopefully one of these framed videos so that you can come back and watch it over and over and over and over again, so that you can really understand this topic, what I'm going to talk about, and that is, I keep talking about fake spirituality, correct? I keep talking about how astrology and tarot channels are misunderstanding and misrepresenting spirituality and make them somehow connected with astrology or tarot, and somehow believing that, or have been made to believe themselves by others, that this somehow is correlated, is connected. It is further from the truth, as has really, I'm telling you, nothing to do with anything. It is full stop a money-making opportunity, frankly. As I keep talking about this, watch my 2020 predictions video that I talked about 2020. That was one of my first videos on my channel. That was, I predicted the pandemic and everything the world will be after the pandemic. Every single thing I said happened. Watch my video. These are all linked. Scroll down in the description, are all linked down below. Then, 2 years ago, I talked about the 2000 years of the new Aquarian age and the ending of the 2000 years of Piscean age. I talked a little bit about that in my 2020 video. I had a large description about the 2000 years of Piscean age, And then I talked a little bit about the 2000 years of Aquarian age that we are heading into. That was 2020. Okay? And then once we entered in two years ago, I made a big video, comprehensive video, how the world will be, what will happen in the next 200 and the next 2000 years of Aquarian age. And the why I said 20, because it's the Pluto in Aquarius, which we already have entered. Now it's in Capricorn, and we will talk about that right now. Okay, so I will give you a live, as I always do, real life examples that I always give to you, so that you can understand everything I say with real life examples, as I always do. So, and again, all these videos I just talked about are linked below. I really, these are comprehensive videos. I want you to watch them, and so that you can get a larger picture of everything from the universe, how everything is developing. Not like, what is he thinking about me? What is she thinking about me? What will happen tomorrow? Tell me. No, it has nothing to do with any of that. And so, and I already talked about the money making, the greedy, the opportunist, all of that. That's all on my fake astrology video, fake spirituality videos, where I talked about fake astrologers and tarot channels and the money making opportunities and all that. I have talked about that. This is not about that, that stuff, because I already talked about it. This is really, I want you to understand how that actually works, okay? Having said that, let me put my, okay. So, when we talk about the two, and I just briefly dive into right now, so that you can I can make a better transition. So the 2000 years of Piscean age, and that's where the money making greedy opportunity coming in, right? That's why there are so many astrology channels, so many tarot channels are popping from left and right, claiming that they are these somehow spiritual beings, or faking that so that they can attract these people to go in there. And we will have more comprehensive, more continuous of these comprehensive videos, right? So, but what I'm saying is, the last 2000 years, where it's the time in the Piscean age where the religions have been born. All religions for the last 2000, I mean, if you don't know history, then there's no point, okay? If you just haven't opened a book, or don't remember history, or don't know nothing about religion history, the history of religions, or political history of the world's history, then there's nothing I can do about it. This goes straight in the hand of why anyone would fall into these traps. If you haven't opened a book and have no knowledge about this, this is why cultists fake manipulate people. That's why all these murder cases happen, right? Because they're manipulated because of lack of knowledge. That's what I keep talking about with it on my channel, right? Knowledge is power. If you don't know nothing, you can be easily manipulated into the games. And we see this all the time, right? People, and this is how the cults have been developed, right? The cults and the religious cults. And these cults are, believe or not only they're political cults, right? But they're also astrology cults, and especially tarot cultists. They act like cults, and I even see this psychological, mental health psychologists cults. They act like cultists, like cults, cult leaders. You praise me, you praise me. And that's nothing but narcissism. Full stop. That's narcissism. Praise me, and I suck the blood out of you. Praise me, and I will suck the blood out of you, your money out of you, your soul out of you. That's nothing but cultism. Cultism and narcissism. Right there. If you don't know any of this, and that's why I highly encourage you to share my videos so that people once and for all understand that. Narcissism, cultism, right there. Cult leaders are narcissists, full stop. They suck the blood out of you. They suck the money out of you. They suck your soul out of you. And this is exactly what tarot channels, astrology channels, and cultists and politicians do, so that they can manipulate you into, give me your soul, give me your money, give me your vote, give me your views, likes, shares, subscriptions, memberships. It goes on and on and on. And that's exactly the 2000 years of the Piscean age. That's when all the religions have been born, and all of the empires have been using religions to advance their agenda. Like, how clear can this be? How more clear can this be? All the religions and the empires, I talk in depth about this in my videos, so I'm not going to go into that for the sake of time, but then it will go into the 2000 years of Aquarian age. By introducing with, that's why I said 20 years, 200 years, 2000 years, introduced by the Pluto in Aquarius transition. And guess what then will happen? Because the last stretches of 15-20 years of Pluto in Capricorn is all the governments and all the large corporations have gotten bigger and bigger and more powerful and more powerful and more suppressive. And then what happened to just like, oh, the social media makes you fish brains, make you a fish brain. So you don't even remember, but remember literally 2 years ago. I mean, if you don't remember anything, go back and watch my videos. That's this current, what I'm talking about. So if you don't remember anything, that's why my videos are also like documentaries. I documented also what's happening in the world. And when you just look at 2 years ago, that like all from left and right, Iran and Iraq and Afghanistan and people, and also in far further east, people were starting to really raise up and said, enough, we have enough, right? No more suppression. Like for the first time, Afghans raised up their voices, said, enough, right? Enough. And that's exactly when Pluto in Aquarius is, that we the people, power to people. It's because it's the 11th house, right? We talk about the 11th house. And yes, if you if you're new to my channel, welcome. These are my handmade wheel, which I don't use anymore. This is the first time after a year I even use it, or 1.5 years, because I will tell you exactly why. Like, bang, that's the Pluto in Aquarius made me also understand that It is no longer of this 2000 years of astrology and tarot and this woo-woo, and this is Piscean age. Still, this is the last stretch, I keep saying it, the last stretch of the Piscean age of rose-colored glasses and the heaven and earth and spirituality, and let's dive back out from the world into a nowhere in the spirits and the world and the universe. That's Piscean age. It's over. It's over, and these people are the tarot channels and astrology channels desperately holding on. They're more money-making people are popping out on tarot channels and more. And what is he thinking about you? What is she thinking about you? What will happen tomorrow? What is your next, I don't know, glow up? What is your this? What is that? These are who's obsessively thinking about you. Guys, like, we gotta stop it. This is all contributing to mental health crises in this world. If you keep pushing on of like who's obsessively thinking about you, or like, oh, there's tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of views, then there's something wrong in your brain. And that's when all these murder cases, all the guys like the son chopping off the mother and then the dog, and because of the witch and whatever the thing, and then the I don't know, Chat Daybell, the spiritual fake guru, like just murders his entire family, chops it off, burns it, put it in trash bags and buries. I mean, come on, guys. These astrology and tarot channels are currently the contributors to the mental health crises, full stop. Full stop. And if I have to go to the Congress and Washington to talk about this, so be it. People know me. If you people know me from back in Twitter, when our Twitter was Twitter and I was still there, for my advocacy to help millions of Americans who couldn't get their vaccine, for the protein-based who didn't want to get the mRNA and other types of genetic engineered vaccines. So in all of that, if I have to go to Washington, I will go to Washington to just talk about this, because we have to stop. And guess what? When we talk about the 2000 years of Aquarian age, and that's when, my friend, that comes in. What this actually the topic of this video is. This true spirituality is that you feel it. You go inside of you, and when these people talk about yoga, do this, just yoga, and where they don't even understand where is it coming from. That idea, that thing of yoga. That's a totally having if Eastern culture and Eastern spiritual I don't know, lectures to infuse into the Western culture without just knowing nothing about it. If you also know in spirituality, if in order to understand spirituality, I keep saying it, you have to also know about religions, right? Like, where does this all started? Where does it start? Where does it end? How does it even develop? And it is important that you learn these things. No one can tell me anything about spirituality without knowing who Rumi was. Like, who was Rumi? Buddha, right? Going into nirvana, like Shams Tabrizi. Who are these people? Yunus Emre. If you don't know these people, you know nothing about spirituality. full stop. And then these people claim, these people meaning tarot and astrology channels, and think that they're enlightened, claim that, oh, excuse me, spirituality can be anything. Spirituality, you can experience spirituality like everyone can experience it differently. No, sir, no, ma'am. It's a soul, and that comes from a person who does fake astrology and tarot every single day. Every single day. Every single day. And also saying that I'm not a tarot channel, I'm just reading cards, telling some stories. You are a tarot reader. And then let's do Scorpio, let's do Aries, but no, I'm not, tarot reader. I'm just doing Scorpio, I'm just telling something, stories, I'm just telling for something for Aries. What a BS. And of course they say to you, you can experience spirituality as you wish. No, you can't, because that's straight into your bank account. That goes straight into your bank account. True spirituality is heaven and earth, you and the heavens. Not only that, you don't even have to be religious. Oh, and I will prove it to you why. That also has nothing to do religious, but all I'm saying is know the basis, and then you can adopt it into your life. What true spirituality is, it's not about 11112222. I see angel numbers. Angel numbers is made up BS by Doreen Virtue, who has an empire out of making cards, and which she calls the oracle cards. And then out of the blue, she turned into Christian, deep Christian out of the sudden. And then she said, I have to stop my entire empire. I am now going forward, believe in Jesus. I am now a Christian. Like, And now the entire fake spirituality using her cards and believing in this angel numbers, and they don't even know where does it originated. If you see these people who can't even tell where it's originated, like they don't even tell that the Lover's card, they keep saying, and it drives me nuts when they say in the Lover's card, if you know anything about tarot, is that it's like a decision. It's a decision. You know why they say that? Because, and then these fake people, like this brand new people, know nothing about tarot, like these kiddos, right? They just come in and say, oh, origin, and not just kiddos meaning, I'm not saying by age, but by understanding of tarot, right? So, and that includes the kids, of course, new tarot readers, what have you. They say, and then they're just like very seriously saying it's originated by this card in the past, in the history. There was this card, and guess what? There was a man, one man, and two women in the tarot of the Lover's card. And that's why it's a decision card. So the man, look at the sexism. Look at the sexism. The man cannot decide between the two women. Like, how effed up is this? How effed up is this? The true, that's a made up new tarot card by an effed up brain by a tarot YouTuber. That's it. That's not history. It's literally 10 years ago made up because I saw it. That's why these people are so brain-wise, knowledge-wise on another level. They don't even know where things are originated and make stuff up. And literally This was literally made up, and the true Lover's card is a divine union. There is no man and two women. There is a gigantic angel over the man and the women. A blessed divine relationship, love. That's what it is. It is just so. Do you now see how effed up everything is? And that's what make people believe, that these people make them believe, because they themselves are lack of knowledge. And when I talk about, you have to feel it yourself, and that's what the yoga is. That's what the spiritual, just going inside of you. This day and age is all about others, blaming others and just putting everything out to others and others. No one in this day and age has the strength, the capacity, and the willingness to face themselves. Let me repeat that. No one in this day and age has the strength, the capacity, the willingness to face themselves. If they would, there would not be war, there would not be a mental health crisis, there would not be a physical health crisis. There will be peace and love and care and empathy, and everyone would face themselves. And that's when not these fake psychologists, there's something called fake psychologists, right? Fake, I don't know, there's mental health gurus, mental health people who themselves are narcissists and psychopaths, and somehow they have a professor title, talk about narcissism and psychopathy. So go figure. And that's when, again, the greedy, the money, the greed comes in. That you see me as the guru, you see me, you praise me, I am the one, and you got to praise me. And that's exactly when everyone misunderstands the spirituality. Because spirituality is not something tangible, you can just hold on to it, is everyone can make SHIT up. And that's exactly the 2,000 years of Pisces age. Now, when we talk about the 2,000 year, the next 2020, Pluto in Aquarius, and that's exactly when you are in tune with your own own life and own feelings, your own heart, your own soul. That's when you can even feel the energies yourself. You don't even have to know what's going on in the sky with Pluto and whatever and Mercury. I stopped following it. You know why? Do you know why? Literally 6 months ago, or was it more than last year, I had made a video about this during the live stream. I talked about this because one night before, on Friday night actually, I had this boom, immediate, like this on my brain. I knew exactly what the Pluto in Aquarius was all about. It came to me in my brain. And I keep talking about, that's what Pluto in Aquarius is. Aquarius is all about the 11th house. Keep knowing that it's not about the woo-woo stuff of the Pisces age. Is the technology. It's the breakthroughs in science, in medicine. It's knowledge. It's it's perfection in the sense that it's the genius, right? Is the breakthroughs, it's not the astrology, it's the astronomy that is important. And people don't get that. All the AIs, all the everything brain related, everything genius related, robots, like rockets, right? Do you see the development? That's why I'm saying you will see a lot of my videos on my channel, and I have accumulated tons of those for the last 6 months, and I will share with you all these breakthroughs, because there's one medical breakthrough after the medical breakthrough after the breakthrough. Nothing was known. We have now literally really almost like breakthrough cure for Alzheimer's, for Parkinson's, for MS, multiple sclerosis, for autoimmune disease. What are we talking about? It's just breakthrough after breakthrough. Has nothing to do with woo-woo thing and woo-woo that and woo-woo this, because it's about the knowledge. No, I keep saying it's knowledge of power, and if you don't know me, I can see the future. And that's why I am already doing things, but naturally. That's what I'm talking about. Naturally it comes to me. And when I say I predict the future, is because I know the background knowledge, and I can feel it. I don't even have to do anything. It comes to me. And that's exactly what I am talking about here. You don't have to follow. I stopped following 6 months ago these types of what's planet doing, whatever. I don't give a crap. Why? Because I feel it. Go back in my videos, like last 2 years or so, I keep saying I feel the energies already, I feel the energies already, and everything is confirmed on my Sunday lives. Why follow, right? Because you already feel it. That was the real example when I said immediately that moment was like in my brain, wait a minute, this is not what Pluto and Aquarius is. What these astrology and tarot challenges want to make you believe, that it's about more woo-woo, more woo-woo, more woo-woo. No, it's more knowledge. It's the power to people. It's the power of the self. If you know nothing about Pluto and Aquarius and what the next Aquarius is all about, open a book and read everything about the characteristics of Aquarius. I have lots of Aquarians in my family, in my friends. I get along perfectly well with Aquarius and Scorpio. We get along really, really well. I understand them totally. And that's when you know the characteristics. Because for me, when I talk to my dad or my mom about Aquarian age, there's only one thing I have to say to them. I said, my cousins, I have lots of cousins Aquarians. I say, or my nephew is Aquarian and my friends are Aquarian. I keep saying, yeah, you know about this? This person A? Yeah, this is what the characters of person, that's what will happen. And they're like, okay, got it. They immediately know what we are talking about. You don't even have to know anything about nothing. It's the characteristics, and that's what we all embody. That's what the world is embodying. And this is what this is all about. The second example, and I know I'm out of time, but I have to give this to you. I hope this is helpful by so far. If it is, I encourage you to like this video and share this video with others, so that we have finally make a movement, and this Aquarian age movement will end the fake spirituality, astrology and tarot channels who are also fake, by the way. They don't even know what they're talking about. And that's why it is important that we share these videos with far and wide, so everyone get this point and have finally with this video turn their lives around and not be addictive to this BS. The second thing is literally happened last week. So, and again, I don't even follow anything about planets or going this and that. All I know is that Pluto is back into Capricorn, because when I knew, I was like, oh my god, crap. Okay, damn, But guess what happened? Actually, not just last week, but 2 months ago, or 1.5 months ago, there was the first set of that energy, and then last week was the second set, and then I made it boom, boom, boom. I know exactly what it is, because already last year Pluto went back to Capricorn. I'm like, oh my god, crap. And I moved back into Aquarius again, and I moved again back to, is currently in Capricorn for the final ever, and we never see this again for next 200 years. Good for us. I will never want to experience that. That's what I keep saying it all the time, right? Remember, if you remember that me talking about the Pluto in Capricorn for my life, because I am in Aries ascendant. I'm a Scorpio. I have 5 planets in Scorpio. I have 5 planets in Scorpio, and I'm an Aries ascendant, right? And so also when you hear people are saying, and like in this so like arrogant know-it-all way, not only astrologers but like tarot readers, like everyone has everything in their chart. Everyone has everything in their chart. That's pretty goddamn BS that you learned from somewhere, because their houses, they're empty. You don't have anything in everywhere. I have, for example, zero, not even anywhere, nothing. Even like not even the points, forget about the planets, not even any points, if you know what I'm talking about, in Gemini. My Gemini house is empty, 0, not even a point is in there. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So like, everyone has everything in their chart. What does that even mean? It doesn't mean anything. So what are you talking about? And with all of this arrogance and know-it-all, it's BS. If you hear that, point it out, report it. That's it. I'm done with this. So in any case, I'm an Aries ascendant, and my midheaven, if you know what it is, like the top of my chart, my 10th house, my career house, where I stand in the world, is Capricorn. It is Capricorn. Like, that's why I am like this, right? That's from the outside, that's how I present myself in the world, right? Like this rock solid Capricorn and what have you. But it's my 10th house, right? So, and also from the Scorpio side, it's my 3rd house, right? It's my 3rd house. But we go by the ascendant. And for me, it's my 10th house. So for the last 15 years, I kept saying to you, right, that I keep saying this all the time, I never had mentors. It's sad. I never had mentors, I had bosses. It's very sad statement, but it's the truth. I had nothing but narcissistic bosses, male and female, my entire career. I had only narcissistic bosses, hence, and narcissistic colleagues, but forget, we talk about leadership, right? Leadership, because the 10th house, Capricorn, is about bosses, boss figures, leadership, like the top, the governments, the structure. Those are all about the 10th house Capricorn. The last 15 years, 20 years was all about the government suppression, the gigantic companies eating up all the tiny companies, becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and more suppression. The same with narcissistic bosses, suppression, become bigger, climbing up the ladder from left and right. This is all I experienced. So the brutality of the governments to the people and the brutality that I experienced from my bosses was absolutely mind-blowing. It was hard to recover for the last 10 years. For the last 10 years, 11 years actually, I tried to recover from this huge, horrible narcissistic boss, okay? The damages, mental, emotional, physical, all damages, I try to recover. And that's why I kept saying, that's a Pluto, god damn it, god damn it, god damn it. And the meantime, though, interesting enough, what happened was, for me, from the Scorpio side, my entire life, I was a very quiet person. Very quiet, very, very introverted, very quiet. My childhood was all like that. I wasn't even speaking. Now I can't shut up, but because my Aries ascendant is just popping out. But also, why? And I always thought to myself, like, no one even listens what I'm talking about. No one listens to me. No one, to pay attention to what I'm saying. Guess what happened? The last 15 years, literally, in 2009, that was the first time when I opened and people pushed me, come on, just go to Facebook, go on to Facebook, come to Facebook, come to Facebook. And I was resisting. I know I'm not going to come. And I delayed it for 2 years or so, right? That was the beginning of Pluto in Capricorn. I was literally delaying. It's like, no, I resist, I don't. And then what happened? 2009, I entered Facebook. Then, slowly but surely, in 2013, listen, 2013, I founded our cancer nonprofit organization, right? Then I became the CEO. I became the leader. I had to build the team, right? But at that moment, I'm just thinking about now, not at that time. Because at that time, I'm still in my, I have this horrible boss, like I have to just recover from my narcissistic boss, oh my God, right? But in the meantime, and this is going back thinking, and I want you to, as a homework, write down in the comments and go back and think back for the last 15 years what happened from your ascendant sign and from your actual sun sign. Right? So in the meantime, what was happening was in 2013, I founded our cancer nonprofit organization. And then I started talking and I made more and more. Even before then, just on general stuff, I was talking out loud about, because as you know, since my childhood, I was an advocate and I was an activist actually. So I talked about things like very, very, very that mean to me. Then in 2013 and 2014, I started to actually fight against misinformation about cancer. And obviously, I founded our cancer organization after being 15 years or so in cancer, right? A cancer scientist, cancer researchers. So I talked about the misinformation, and I was pushing against the vegans and vegetarians and keto diet and whatever. So I started like really actively talking about. And then what happened? Years and years later, I noticed many people started more following me. I haven't had a YouTube then. I was like following me and more people listening to what I'm saying, even professors. And then I started to connect with my past people, like past alma maters and all the professors there. And they would start sharing my stuff, start like, oh my God, Ayguen said this. And then people start to asking me for advice about these and all sorts of things. I talk about politics and health and all of that. All like what I'm doing here, like my opinions, right? And people started listening. And then I started to become like, and I went with YouTube. And then 2 years ago with in 2020 with the vaccines, that I was an open advocate against the mRNA vaccines as a scientist and a genetic engineer. I was 100% against, and I not only did education about all of this, but I also was a strong advocate, if you people know me from Twitter, that time that I was strongly advocating for protein-based vaccines for millions of Americans who couldn't get it, didn't want to get it, and needed to get the protein-based vaccine, not the genetic engineered ones. And we made it possible. I was even invited to give a speech at the FDA Vaccine Advisory Committee. It's on my channel. It's everyone YouTube. Go to FDA. It's right there, or in my channel. It's and I was like a superstar out of the blue on Twitter. And I was like, oh my God, everyone was watching it live, that FDA talk. And it was just unbelievable. Like, and that, my friend, was in the meantime from the ascendant side, while I was still like trying to heal from my boss, my narcissistic bosses, and I did all like these damage control. But then at the meantime, from the third house, for my Scorpio side, I was literally developing my speeches, going further and further and further and further up like a maniac. So I had this power of speech, the third house, the communication, right? Writing, speaking, all my videos. I had a strength and power in my speeches. Then what happened? 1.5 months ago, and when Pluto goes back into Capricorn, I mean, I can even talk about, if you will, if you want me to, and I mentioned this before, what happened when Pluto went into Aquarius. I was, before when Pluto was in Capricorn, and I was in 2013 building our cancer nonprofit organization, I was suddenly shut down with the world. I was working. Like I was isolated with the world. I totally zero, like, listen, I was totally not going out anymore. I wasn't having like meeting with friends anymore. I was totally like Capricorn, right? Work horse, right? Work non-stop. And so much so that literally the moment was last year, right? Like last year in March or so, when or it was in 2021, I think it was March 2022, when Pluto moved into Aquarius. My 11th house, friendships, circles, groups, associations, right? That's what it was. Not only from the global perspective, all the scientific breakthroughs, like the rockets were just firing up left and right, and so many more discoveries on astronomy, not astrology, but astronomy. But also for my life, what happened was, out of the sudden, out of nowhere, I entered into this group of other executive directors, CEOs of other nonprofit organizations in my city. I became a part of them. I met them every month. Out of nowhere, out of the sudden, I had this network of people that I have lost to even realize they existed for the last 10 years, 11 years, 10 years. Do you know what I'm talking about now? It's not about like, okay, this will happen, let me wait until I find. It happens out of nowhere because the life moves. That's why I'm saying move with nature, move with life. It comes to you anyway. If you like it or dislike it, if you plan for it or not plan for it. I didn't plan for any of these. It's just happened. That's why when astrologers always go back, if you noticed, and talk about, even in astrology books, they talk about, right, Elizabeth Taylor had so many marriages because of her chart. And this has happened because of the chart. They go always backwards, right? Tell me the future. But it's just so like, this may not apply for everyone. That's what I say. This might not be applied for everyone. I will look into your personal chart, right? This is another game, right? Because this is what I'm talking about. And I will tell you exactly. I didn't go back. This is my go back story, just to give you a background. But I will tell you right now what happens. I will get to that. So when I was like, oh my God. And then this power plays. I'm not even talking about the power plays and all that, because I have a Pluto in Aquarius video and Pluto in Capricorn video for all signs. If you're interested, watch that. Go to my playlist. It's all there. I'm very comprehensive. But what happened was, on the other side, when Pluto moves into Aquarius, for my Scorpio side, it was out of the sudden in my 4th house. Power play, power struggle, power in my home area, right? Transformation as well. But then, again, coming back to the 3rd house, my ascendant, my 11th house, and to my 10th house, then I had suddenly, almost as if this power play with the authorities was like diminished. I suddenly had this nice group of people, all executive directors, and we had all like this every month, like a nice meeting and fun and joy and all of that, and communications and network. Oh my God, like out of nowhere, like for the last 10 years, I was sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. I was this workhorse, right? And then guess what happened? The last year, when Pluto went back into Capricorn, out of months, out of like nowhere, I couldn't go to any of their events. I couldn't go for months because I was busy working. I couldn't go again for months. I was out of the sight. I was just working like nonstop. But it's not because some astrologers told me, oh, you will be out of the world again and go back and watch Workhorse and you will not see these people again. It's just happened. And then it happened to be fitting with what the Pluto's movement is. That's what I'm talking about. Whether you want it or not, it happens. And all I'm saying is to focus on your life and go by it. Go with the flow. Don't expect and rush this day and age of like, let's do it, okay, this will happen, that will happen tomorrow, that will happen in 2 years, this will happen. It will happen. Just focus on it and take it in and make the best of it with those energies that is happening at the moment. Forget about this Pluto and that Pluto. It just happens anyway. That's what I'm saying. And then what happened was, now recently, 1.5 months ago, when then actually after the Pluto went back into Aquarius, and then what happened in the beginning of the year, then I was like back with them again. Going every month, like, oh yeah, it was like all these meetings and stuff, and I was back again. But then Pluto moved back recently into Capricorn again. And then guess what happened? But this time, it's the final. Never will ever happen this in 200 years. So that's the final of the final. And as I keep saying it, we need to understand what's the lesson. Guys, what's the lesson? That's the purpose. It's not about knowing this will happen, this will happen. It's what's the lesson. Let me tell you this. 1.5 months ago, when literally Pluto went back into Capricorn, for the first time in almost how many years? More than 10 years or so? 15 years? 14 years? I heard actually my boss, that former boss, contacted me out of nowhere. I was shaking like my entire body, because in the entire time I was still trying to heal, and the last one and several months ago before that, that was my final healing. I did an exercise. I want to do a workshop with you guys. That exercise of healing trauma, that was so powerful, because literally a week before that happened, I did my final trauma healing that worked. And then a week or a few days later, that boss contacted me. My mind was blown away until I figure out, like, what is just happening? What is this about? Like, whoa, what? What do you want? And then I realized later, I didn't reply. Then, because what happened was a week before that, and I'm telling you, every time I feel the energy, remember I keep saying, I feel it inside of me. And whatever I feel happens. Like, actually, I will give you another example, several examples of that, what just literally happened a few days ago. Whenever I think about somebody, out of nowhere, that person either contacts me or calls me or send me an email, send me a message. Something happens every single time, but it comes out of nowhere. Or out of the sudden, I feel someone is dying or is been dead. or is going to die, because that person, even it's overseas or so, suddenly they came into my mind, and then I hear few days later that person has passed away. So I feel the energy. That's what I keep talking about. That's spirituality, that you can feel the energies, and that's why you can even predict things, because I don't need astrology, I don't need tarot, I feel it. It happens a million times. So a week before that boss contacted me, out of nowhere, not even a week, few days before that, I was thinking, again, out of nowhere, I was thinking, after I did that trauma, also, and again, no therapist. I even said to psychologists, I use this on my own, and did it work? I was like, yes, and I did it one time. It works, and it's for free. So, okay, I will want to do a workshop about this, guys. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. So the more people are interested, then I will make a workshop class for that, okay? So then I was thinking, if that person, boss, would contact me, my reaction would be so different. So different. I would, not even like as before, that person wouldn't have power over me as before, as my boss. Like narcissistic boss, right? Manipulative, narcissist, let you work to your... I was hospitalized 7 times. 7 times in the ER from overworking at that time. 7 times. So keep manipulating into doing things more and more, give you false promises, right? That's what they do. So, and because you are bounded in your career, you can't get out. And then later you realize all the damages. But what happened was, I said this time, when this person would contact me, or if I will run into the person, I will be reacting so differently, because I had totally changed. The tables have turned, because I said to myself, because I am also now boss. I am a successful boss who earned with my organization the United Nations Award. My childhood dream can come true. I didn't need these bosses. I did it on my own, without them. Not even bound to them, had nothing to do with them, with my career there in academia. It was purely of our cancer nonprofit organization, my baby, without them. So they make you believe that you can't survive without them, particularly if you're in academia, right? But that's further from the truth. Our organization has earned the United Nations Award with our efforts. None of them were involved. None of them. So then I thought, you know what? I am the boss too. You talk to me from boss to boss. I am no longer this little, scientist, researcher, you can play around like the boss figure. No. I am a CEO. Okay? We won awards that you cannot even reach at all. So right? You know what I'm talking about? So then I literally, it came out of my mind like nowhere. And then what happened? I swear to God, a few days later, after 14, 15 something years, I received a message from this person. Huh. You got to kidding me, right? And then I realized, of course I didn't respond. Like, if you need me, you will call me again. All right? That's how it works. Probably the person still had thought like, oh my God, this person called me. Oh my God, let me just call back. I am the boss. If you need me, you can call me again. Or if you want, not, you know, you need me, obviously. If you need me, call me again. If you haven't reached it, call me then again. But you do it. I'm not going to run after you. So, do you understand now the realization that that was the final lesson and the final quiz by the universe of, have you learned the lesson? Have you transformed in the last 15, 20 years of Pluto in Pluto in Capricorn? Have you transformed? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, universe, I did. Then what happened? Last week, now I have recruited for last several months ago. In this meantime, right, in this meantime, I recruited new team members for a cancer organization, volunteers, all amazing people. Like we have all like this training and the meetings and what have you. And this time, because I was always with Capricorn there in Pluto, I was this, and my midheaven is in Pluto, in Capricorn. It's like this strong teacher, Saturnian, Fräulein Rottenmeier, if you know Fräulein Rottenmeier in Heidi, if you know her. I'm like her. I always say like I'm Fräulein Rottenmeier, right? Like this tough teacher and tough boss, you know, but a very compassionate boss too, that none of the narcissistic boss would ever do. But I still was pushing. And I always said to myself, the only thing I hate Elon Musk to my deepest core, and have millions of videos about him exposing his lies. But I kept saying to myself, one thing that might be similar is our working style, like working habits and the way we see the team, right? Like, you know, if I work 200 miles per hour, you guys work 200 miles per hour too. But that was the past. This time, I said, this is a brand new team after the pandemic, and I will change my leadership way. And the way I speak, right? Like the Pluto in Capricorn, third house for me as a Scorpio, the way I speak, the way my tone is, the way I lead will be different this time. I promise to myself. Guess what? The way, and there was lots of challenges that I've never experienced before, because in the past it was just like a one training and that's it. This time I had over and over again several meetings, several trainings, and again, because people came off of pandemic, So everyone's mindset was completely different than in the experience in the past. So it was so challenging. But what I did was, even with the challenging um, teams and challenging situation, I was shocked myself how I was able to turn things around and make it still work. And now find it works without being too Saturnian, Fräulein Rottenmeier, too bossy, too forceful, too like tough leader. I was still a leader, yet my speech has changed. Pluto in Capricorn from Scorpio to third house, the way I spoke, the way I lead, everything has transformed so that I was able to keep my team together, and now we are smoothly moving forward. And that's, my friend, is the transformation, is the lessons, is the learning. And that's why for the final time he came back, so that you can see how you have learned your lessons, how you have transformed, and then it will go away, never come back in that area. So for me, now I realized what the whole shebang of Pluto and Capricorn was all about, and how it transformed my life, my leadership. And that was the moment I realized it was maybe also not only all along about constantly complaining that my bosses were so narcissist, my bosses did this, my Pluto and Capricorn was hell, I went through hell of the bosses, like again, like other people. In the meantime, I was transforming, which I then now turned back into, and this is what I'm talking about. Then I realized, hold on a second, my leadership style has changed too. My leadership style have transformed too. I am now the leader I always wanted to be, because I was suffering. How can I deal with challenging employees or challenging co-workers, challenging teammates, challenging volunteers? How on earth can I just get it? I was traumatized almost in that manner too. From my side, I was the last, since I built the organization, 10 years, I was like, oh my God, like how can I do that? I took also, I got a certification from Harvard for coaching. So I have a coaching certificate for Harvard, because I said to myself, I want to transform this. The way I lead, I will transform this, because I don't want to be the Fräulein Rottenmeier anymore. When people are afraid, and just I want people to really, even when there's challenging situation, the way I handle the challenging situations, challenging teammates, the way I react, the way I speak, right? Third house for my Scorpio, Capricorn, will be different this time. And then I recruited new team members after the pandemic, just like last several months, since May, April, May. We are just now it was hard, because Pluto is back in Capricorn, working on it. But then I realized, now I made it possible. I made it happen. The way I talk with my team, and the way I communicate, the way I lead is so different. 100 million% transformed. And that's, my friend, right there, is exactly how you feel if you look inside. I want you as a homework, learn and see when you look back what this last 15 years, 20 years was for you. Currently, this is your last final understanding of that. And then if you still don't feel it, don't get it, it's a loss of 15, 20 years of your life because you haven't learned your lesson. But let me tell you this is also not true, because that's the difference between prediction, astrology, like whatever, tarot. You feel it. There is no way in hell that you don't feel it. You feel it. When I hear a lot that, and I see in other comments of other tarot and astrology channels, like, I feel it, I feel it, I feel it. And then these tarot and astrology channels hold on to it and say, if you feel it, this message is for you. I don't need it because I feel it already. So basically, when a tarot reader said, oh, you feel all of this, or you're gonna feel all of this, like, oh yeah, okay, let me wait and see if I feel all of this. Okay, and then a tarot reader said, you will feel all of this. Like, okay, let me think, wait, see when I feel. It will be happening either way. All I want for you is that think about it, feel it. That's what it is. You will feel it anyway. And the way then after you feel it, you sense it, you feel it. That's when it is you need to be still to even, whoa, wait a minute, that's what it is. Yes, be aware, be awake. That's what being awake is, not following some tarot and astrology. It's being awake yourself, with yourself. Do you see my point? Did it all make sense now? What I'm talking about? Because it comes to you. You feel it deep inside of you. And then I want you today as a homework, please go back and think about what happened. What do you learn? Even without knowing any of your ascendant sign or sun sign, whatever, because you will feel anyway the transformation in your life. You will, for example, literally, and Pluto went into Aquarius from Scorpio is my 4th house. Hell. Oh my God. My home was like in such a dramatic transformation. Everything around it. Holy cow. And I know for a fact that my home situation will change for going forward. I know it, not because I know the astrology, not someone told me, because of the life events that is happening around my home, where I live and how I live and everything around it. I know actually, like the dates even, that everything will change. I know it. Is it scary? Yes, it is. But again, I know now, right? It's not a trauma. Yes, this was a trauma, a huge trauma for me. Huge trauma. That the last what I experienced when Pluto was in Aquarius, on my home area. holy shit. But then I know now from the Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn, all the trauma at the end, it was mind-blowingly beautiful. I can cry right now because it's so true. And also the Pluto in Capricorn with my voice, right? With my speeches, the power of my speech that actually changed lives and saved lives. Really, right? And when I said my voice, also what happened was finally after towards the end, my singing voice, I sing since young ages. I give concerts and stuff. I play music instrument. And so my voice tone and the softness and my throat even has changed. I even found my musical tone of my voice that I was searching for years. I even, oh my God, I just realized this right now as I speak when I said voice. For the last 1.5 years or so, I was shocked that, wait a minute, my voice has finally changed that I ever wanted. And I was like, oh my God, why is it? Why is it? Right now, as I speak, I realized it. I was realizing it recently based on physical health matters, but it's also related to what I just talked about. Because I was relating the straight correlation, which I talk in my Scientist Total Life Transformation Protocol, is directly linked to other physical health matters and mental health matters. The voice, the throat, the singing is all affected. But now as I speak is also the final stretches, it has transformed my singing voice too. From the Scorpio side, the Pluto in Capricorn. Do you see the third house? Do you see? Is this a proof or is this a proof? You don't need anyone telling you nothing. You don't need any of those. All I want, and I can cry right now, I want you to focus on you. Focus on your life and see how it develops. And go by it, go with it, and see the transformation. And just understand life, the path, every single step, how you need the dough, right, to make bread, right? You need it, even when you do clay, right? You just like need it a lot so that it don't break. You need it a lot, because if you don't need the clay so much, then it will break if it dries. So you have to be very, 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 very good making it, knitting so that it holds and together. The same thing when bread, right? And when you make cookies, or when you make bread, or when you bake it with dough, right? You have to knit it so much that the more you knit it, the more puffy and the more it melts into your mouth. This is how it works. And if you don't, it will be hard and stiff. And so this is, oh my God, this also literally came to me. This is exactly what it is. If you don't knit yourself more and more, you will be stiff and go in your life as trauma, accumulation of trauma, but not being aware and awake That's what awake means. That's what true spirituality means, because if I can describe you what spirituality is to connect with yourself. And if you believe that the heavens go through you, God or angels or universe or energies go through you, it means that you have to look to yourself, to your heart, to your soul, to your mind, and keep it as sacred. Don't give your energies too much to the outside. When I talk about my dad is a highly spiritual person, and my mom as well. But my dad, we have a lot of spiritual conversations from all angles of everything: politics, history, and finances. Oh my God! I mean, he's a rock star in history. He reads he reads book like a maniac. So he has knowledge of nobody. Okay, like nobody else has this amount of knowledge. So we talk a lot. And also he is a very believing person, as well as very spiritual. He understands the spiritual side of things, and we talk always a lot about. And whenever we mention this happened, as he said, he always believes that we shouldn't share it so much with the outside. I am the same way, and it comes natural. It comes natural if you are truly connected inside. You don't want to share it too much, because you know exactly where the energies can be hitting other types of unwanted energies, and when you have to share it. So when he has some revelations that he noticed, and I myself too, I prefer not to share it with the world. I prefer to keep it inside, because that is the message that comes to you from the heavens as a sign. And it means to be only for you, and for you only. It doesn't. Some messages don't need to be shared, because it's private. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just feel it. Just feel it. That's why oftentimes you hear me talking some things like broadly, not going deeper into. And that's exactly sometimes because, for example, I give you an example. I had angel encounters. And again, this is one of the topics that I absolutely don't want to talk about, because it is very, very sacred. And I don't want to minimize it by sharing this as, this happened to me, as a story. It is no one's business, and I don't want anyone this unbelievable, and this happened twice to me. One as a child and one as an adult. And I do not want anyone this unbelievable experience to be like just random. Let me talk about this, so that everyone can learn. No, I don't give a crap. This is so personal to me, and I had to share this with my grandpa at that time, when I was an adult, before that second time happened. So, and at that time, my dad, God forbid, my grandpa was still alive, and he is a huge, highly spiritual person, and he was, and so it was a teacher also, and like spiritual leader also, not only teacher but also spiritual leader. So he my mom told me that I should ask him. Tell him to see if, because my mom said immediately, yes, it is true. This is actually an angel. And then I asked, and she told me that if you want, you can ask your grandpa, my mother's father. And then at that time I asked him that again, this was before the second time. And I was asking about my childhood experience. And then he said 100% this was an angel. I mean, I had no doubt in my mind anyway, but sometimes you just want to be, is it true, is it true, is it confirmed, you know? And it was. And again, and this was something that I will not share to the public, because again, it's sacred. And this is a message for you from the universe, God, angels. Again, I can cry right now because it's so special. And again, if you are with yourself, you experience all of this all the time. And I highly encourage you not to follow anyone's anything. And no one, let me tell you this, has the right, no one has the right in your life to tell you how you should feel, how you should think, what you should believe, what you should not believe in. No one. Also, spiritual ethics. I keep talking about spiritual ethics, not only scientific ethics, but and also life ethics, societal ethics, but spiritual ethics exist. No one can penetrate into my heaven and earth experience. No one can tell me, now you should believe in this, what I'm going to tell you. Now this will happen to you, and you better believe me, so you better pay me money, or better give me likes, shares, subscribes, and memberships, so that I can tell you, continue to tell you what you should believe that I said. This is straight up not only BS, but violation of a spiritual energy. We need to point this out. We need to stop this type of unbelievably harmful, dangerous, harmful way of squeezing spirituality into money-making opportunities, yet those also make you ill mentally, physically, and emotionally. And the last thing I want to say, and then I will end this, and then I will go into the cards are waiting, right? My cards are waiting here for tell you about the week, right? Not week, but August. So I'm going to talk about with my cards, no tarot, my cards. It's all about empowering ourselves. The last thing I want to say is that, and I lost my train of thought. Oh my God. So I highly encourage you to really dive deeper into yourself, and again, not giving anything, any energy and power away anymore into those types of false information that only hinders your growth. And again, now I remember what I want to say, and the last thing I want to say is, in this day and age, and I talked about this in my previous fake spirituality videos, is that in this day and age, this fake spirituality, astrology channels, tarot channels are feeding off of the fast speed of the world. What I mean by that is this fast speed lifestyle, environment, and world kills spirituality. And again, I'm not talking about these are money making, greedy. Tarot has nothing to do with spirituality. As I keep saying with psychology, I've done a million videos about that, and people hated me. Like the psychologists don't like me about this because I bring this out in the open because of their bank accounts, right? And so astrology tarot channels don't like me. Why? Because of it's their bank account, right? But I don't care. As you know, my Pluto in the third house is transformed, so I don't give a crap, okay? So, and besides the fact that I'm Scorpio, Aries, so I don't give a crap. So I talk what it is, okay? That's me. And if it's bad for them that, you know. Anyway, so this is, I'm not talking about astrology and tarot as spirituality. I talk about the spirituality that I'm talking about on my channel the entire time right now, and also in this video, is because this fast speed of lifestyle is as if now we have a pill, right? Ozempic, that makes people thin. Like, that's the genius, right? Take the pill and then boom, you lose weight. No more gyms, no more healthy food, healthy lifestyle, diet, no more exhaustion, and no more trying like months and months and months and years and years and years to lose weight. Oh, that doesn't, it's too much, it's too late, too far, too much, too long. Let's take a pill and just in a second, I don't know, in a day or two, get, I don't know how speedy that is, but let's, okay, say a few days or a week, I don't know, get thin. This is the most BS thing I've ever seen, ever heard in any capacity. Mental health capacity, physical health capacity, emotional capacity, and in any way. Because the process of also losing weight is to, you know, that you don't get a heart attack, right? Like in a heart attack, meaning not physically, but yeah, maybe physically too, but also emotionally, because this is a process. You losing weight in process so that your body can adjust to it mentally, physically, emotionally. When you look in the mirror, you'll feel like you get thinner and thinner and thinner. Not like boom, boom, you're fat and then you're thin. You're like, whoa. It's just like, it's like a plastic surgery, right? You're like, the next day you just look like this, and the next an hour later you'll look like this, you know, like this. And you're like, oh my God. You're like, oh my God. So there's this emotional, physical, mental process that many people miss. The body, the people don't understand the physiology, how the body functions. We cannot dump thing in there. I'm interested in the healing workshop also. I can't find your Pluto video. You mentioned halfway through. Could you drop a link, please? I searched on your channel too and cannot find. Oh, of course. Hi, thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate that. Absolutely. So when you go to my playlist, there is actually a section called Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto in Capricorn. Those are comprehensive videos for each sign. So I would like you to watch those. Great concepts in your video. I so appreciate that. Thank you for your feedback. I love that. Let me screenshot this. I really appreciate this. Oh my God, so good. Thank you. So so when you also spiritually, don't understand the process and rush things, right? In 1 year, well, this will happen. In 2 years, this will happen. The astrologer told me in 2026 or 2025, big things will happen. Are you ready for it? It will happen in any way. Even without you pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get someone look into your personal chart, it will happen. I just told to you, it will happen. But the problem here is, are you still traumatized? Have you not healed your trauma? Have you not? And trauma, that's another full shebang video about people so much delving into, I have trauma, childhood trauma. Again, this is another money-making opportunity. I'm telling you, by these popping out of nowhere psychologists, social workers, everyone, this gurus, this coaches, this whatever, have zero background. Listen, it is important that we understand that at one point we need to grow up, right? This, all the energies, if you will, seed in a way of our life teachers, life gurus. If we just follow it, that nature and ourselves, we don't need spend thousands of dollars and hundreds of dollars for some fake people who don't even know what they're doing and what they're talking about and haven't even healed their own trauma. And then they infuse their own trauma toxicity into you. In the tarots even. Like, I'm not even talking about now psychologists that they have cuckoo brains and their own trauma, and they infuse their own pain, their own trauma, their own hate, their own toxicity into you. Like, your parents are these nasty people who are hurting you. They ruined your childhood. You're a 40-year-old, you're a 50-year-old, you're a 100-year-old. Are you still talking about your parent causing you trauma? What? At one point, you gotta stop it. And again, I mentioned before, it's about blaming others. This is the day and age of blaming others, blaming others. I couldn't go further in my career, I blame my parents. I couldn't go further with my relationship, I blame my parents. I couldn't go further into my, neighborhood, I blame my parents. I blame my childhood trauma. I blame my childhood trauma. I blame my narcissistic boss. I will blame my narcissistic, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. Guys, I'm not saying those are not existing, but when will anyone just stand up in your own legs, own feet, and just stop it once and for all and say, I am done, but not in a way like, I am done with this. No, it's about I am now, and that's why we are focusing on my channel of the empowerment of ourselves so that we can stand up and say, I am willingly to heal myself so that I don't have to think about all this happened because of some toxicity, negativity. It's all about me as a human being, that I can move forward in a trained way and teaching myself how to not get sucked into these toxicities and affect my life going further. This is all what we are focusing on my channel, and this is exactly what I do every single week with my cards. And these are nothing but empowerment cards. And if you watch the next video, I'm already way out of time, but it's nice video, so that's good. You will see what will I share with you. You don't even need tarot. I don't even use tarot for a year now, because you will see I don't need it. We don't need tarot, because if we focus on ourselves and own energy, hopefully you will join the next video, because I will talk about the August with my cards, right? Empowerment cards. That's all I need, because I feel the energies and I tell you with 100% accuracy every single time for years. So that's again what I'm saying. This day and age of speedy, give me now, what will happen in 2 years, give me now, what will happen tomorrow, give me now, what will happen in 72 hours, right? In tarot channels now, it's getting more and more bizarre, like the next 72 hours, the next 24 hours, the next 72 hours. What will he think about you in the next 72 hours? Will he contact you in the next 72 hours? What will happen this weekend? What he's thinking about you this weekend? What is he thinking about you this week? Like, what are we talking about, right? What are we talking about? Just follow your own heart. Your life will tell you. Your life will show it to you. All I want you to now think about what has changed, because right now is the time to finally closing and understanding the final jotting down the final lesson of everything what happened. Write it in your journal, right? Like take my inner royalty journals, right? Amazon. Write it in there. I have on my channel a 30-day journal with me challenge where I did every day for 30 days right inside. So highly encourage you to get that and write it down. Maybe I should do this today, but this is a good documentary as well. So this is so important that we do that. And the final lesson, and let me tell you this, as I say, there is no such thing as portal, Lionsgate portal, 8-8 portal, 11-11 portal, whatever portal, this is made up BS. And let me tell you this, I feel already that a life new chapter is starting right now in this week, this upcoming week in August 1st. I know it. But again, it's not about the Lionsgate that someone tell me this will happen. It's because I set a deadline on August 1st. And if you are not subscribers, subscribe and hit the bell and follow on the community tab. Also on my free newsletter, because my free newsletter, people will get exclusive stuff, exclusive coupons, exclusive information. So follow me, because on August 1st I have a grand opening on my Etsy channel. Etsy shop that I'm building right now. On literally on August 1st is my grand opening. So stay tuned on that, and let's get the building running. So you will have a special discount just for 24 hours on August 1st. So that's what I'm saying. I already feel the next chapter is starting. Why? Because after 2 years, I'm now finishing finally my website. After 2 years, I couldn't touch it. Imagine that. Right now, I'm almost done. Like within a day or two. Like I can't even believe it that I'm almost done. I worked for 1.5 days, and it's almost done now, right? Like I can't even believe it. And again, it's not about someone tell me Lionsgate and whatever portal. It's just happening the flow. And also because from the Scorpio side, always my entire life, I was always busy when other people are on vacation. Why? Because from the Scorpio side, Leo season is my 10th house career season. And for everyone who in the summer holidays are gone, I am working. Again, 10th house. And for everyone in the New Year's Eve and the New Year's after that, everyone is on vacation. I am working. I have deadlines. Why? Because it's a Capricorn time. It's my 10th house from Aries side. Do you see what I'm saying? So I can change that, but I can only work around it. There's no Lion's Gate. There's no whatever portal. It's because it's already like nature-wise, it just happens. That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying, I agree, the only portal is the present moment. Thank you. Exactly. Exactly. That what you I couldn't say it better, because what do you do in this moment, right? I agree, the only portal is the present moment. 100%. What do you feel in this moment? Do you feel making your website? That's the portal. And that means something, that it is the energy, because the 2 years I could have done it, I wasn't dumber that time. I wasn't smarter now, because I am doing websites since the 90s. Like I'm doing websites since 25 years, almost 30 years. So I wasn't dumb in 2 years ago. I wasn't, less busy or more busy than I'm now. I'm like my brain is popping out from busyness. But it's the time, the time, the time. We need to learn to calm the hell down and to go by nature, go with the flow, and don't ever take anyone's word, what you should believe in, where your life is going, what you do. All you need is yourself. And in order to strengthen yourself, physically, emotionally, mentally, that's where I jump in. And that's when my next video is all about. I will share with you the upcoming here. These are the cards right here. My cards. These are my own cards. And this is all I need. And then on the personalized for my Bright Star Club members, I will have 2 groups, personalized 2 groups, group 1 and group 2. And this will be for August. But all I can tell you right now, I already have seen a brand new chapter is starting. I see it in all cards, in a different layer, different level, different way. I give you guidance. But I also, yesterday, when I looked, I said sometimes to my dad, it comes to me. Again, this is not like a robot. Give me money and I will put the cards. No, it's like, and I just talk with my dad and say, let me look into your card. This is how I do it. Like, it just, when I talk with the person, at that moment, I feel it. It's the moment I have to. And I said, can I look into your cards? I asked the person for permission. I cannot dump on them. The person has to give me permission, not only physically, but also energetically. And then then my dad said yes. And literally the week before, I was able to, for the first time for him, because his cards are always bright, 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 but he was one day very mad, like last week. Something happened to him. Somebody he hurt his heart so much. My dad is a very strong person, but very gentle soul inside. And so he was hurt, and he was so upset, and he called me. And so then literally a few days later, when I looked into his week, I said, can I look into, I just feel like, and literally the whole internal hurt came out. But then there was a bright new beginning. And actually, literally, he said, all that happened, that it was a tough week. It was also a tough week for me. But then yesterday, I said, can I look into your cards? And for this week, for August, can I look for August for you? He said, yes. And then I looked, and guess what? Brand new chapter for him as well. And that one new chapter, that time repeated in yesterday's cards as well. And here I see from everyone a brand new chapter, and I feel it already inside of me, because my website is coming soon, guys. My Etsy store will be a grand opening on the 1st. I last night will also put a lot of my merch in there. Brand new merch is coming. You guys will love it. So everything I said, all my workbooks, ebooks, my programs, the Fearless Achiever 2.0, my Scientist Total Health Transformation Protocol, that program's all on the description. My Ko-fi store, everything's in my Ko-fi store. The Etsy store will be additional, but my Ko-fi store, all my cards are there. You can get them on there. I have many more cards there. And then definitely subscribe. And if you are new here, welcome. I love to have you guys. Thank you so much for all the beautiful comments. My goodness, this was so nice that you were here, that we were chatting. It was so good, and I'm so appreciative that my words mean something to you, and that was also something you associate yourself with. I'm so happy with that. So follow definitely the next few days until the 1st. There will be grand opening, so definitely follow the community tab, and even better, subscribe to my free e-newsletter to get so many more perks and additional coupons, etc. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. So hang on tight. I will end this, and then I will go into for all of us for August. Okay, hang on tight. Okay, I will be right back.